everyone, welcome to China Talk. The Republic of Peru, although separated from China by oceans, shares an unexpected and inextricable bond with China. It is one of the first Latin American countries to establish a diplomatic relations and a comprehensive strategic partnership with the People's Republic of China. And recently, Chinese President Xi Jinping has paid a state visit to Peru. This is his second visit to the country in 8 years. So what impetus will this visit injected to the bilateral relations between our two countries? And how will the Chancay port benefit local development and connectivity? In order to answer the questions, China Talk has invited Ambassador of Peru to China to have an exclusive interview. Nice to meet you, Mr. Ambassador. It is really a great pleasure for us to come to your embassy and have this conversation with you.
Oh, it's a pleasure to me to meet you and to have this opportunity to talk to you and to say hello to all the audience that's going to see this program.
We know that not long ago, Chinese President Xi Jinping has paid a state visit to Peru and also held talks with his Peruvian counterpart, Ms. Dina Boluarte, and the two countries agreed to deepen the comprehensive strategic partnership. So how would you assess the current relations between China and Peru?
President Xi Jinping and President Boluarte has met 3 times in 1 year.
Yes.
That is historical for Peru. I mean, there is no precedent. No, that one president of Peru has met the Chinese president 3 times. So the visit of President Xi Jinping to Lima put the bilateral relationship in a new stage. I mean, we are right now with perhaps the highest, the most important level of the relationship. You know? We have a lot of consensus. The relationship, in very simple words, is very excellent. No? It's excellent. As President Xi Jinping also highlighted, we have to work to a new stage in our comprehensive partnership. Yes. And that's quite right. I mean, for that, we have to continue the collaboration, cooperation, the economic and technical cooperation among different fields. We have to continue working on the connection of people. That means sport, education, museums, festivals, tourism, which is quite important. We have to recover the tourism that we had before the pandemic. The Chinese were the people that travel most to Peru among the Asian countries. Okay, that is very important. So the visit of President Xi Jinping was quite important for the future relationship of Peru. We signed more than 20 agreements on digital economic, green development, transportation, education. We inaugurated the port of Chancay, which was quite important. But there are 2 things that is also very important for Peru. China declared Peru free of the foot-mouth disease. No? That is very important for us because that will be a step that has been working for years, and now we have. And we will be able to have the opportunity to have this larger market to sell meat. Then there is another one, that port of Chancay, because that is a maritime route. But we discussed and we got an agreement with the civil aviation of China to have a flight from China to Lima. It's not a direct flight now. It's a co-sharing flight. It's going to be a trip from Shanghai to Madrid and from Madrid to Lima. The airline is the China Eastern Airlines, okay? In co-sharing with Air Europe, no, Madrid. So it's the first time that we are going to have the flight. I mean, a flight from China, co-sharing with another one, going to Lima. And that is also a very good step. So we are trying to close, to close the gap on terms of connectivity. We signed also a very important instrument on infrastructure because China have a lot of experience, very good technicians, very good engineers. So we signed an agreement in terms of collaboration between the two countries. China enterprises are doing already many things in Peru, but we want to scale up, the working of the Chinese company in Peru in terms of roads, bridges, even trains, So it was a very excellent visit. We signed a lot of agreement. All of this has been based on principles. The principles is very important. And which are these principles? Friendship,
Yes.
trust, win-win cooperation, sincerity. Those principles are very fundamental.
Yes.
And now our challenges for the coming months is to implement the agreements
Yes.
that both heads of the states had in their conversation and the documents that we already signed. So it's for Peru very, very important, the visit of President Xi.
Yes, and also very important for China as well.
Yes, because the relationship between China and Peru, you could see it in certain way as a model.
Yes.
As a model, of the kind of relationship that other Latin American countries could have with China. Because we have the strategic partnership, we are member of the Belt and Road Initiative, we have a comprehensive dialogue on economic. We signed it in the visit of President Xi Jinping, an upgraded free trade agreement.
Yes.
That was very important one.
Yes.
Because we incorporated in that free trade agreement new issues, for instance, supply chains, e-commerce, which is becoming quite important right now. 10 years ago, perhaps no, but
Yes.
now it's central. In terms, the environment, which is, with the climate change, all these kind of things, is quite important. So that's also a very important outcome of the visit of President Xi Jinping.
Yes, you have mentioned the upgrading of the free trade agreement between China and Peru. And how do you think this protocol will facilitate economic cooperations between China and Peru and also benefit our two peoples?
China and Peru have the same thinking. We believe in the open, non-discriminatory, transparent, free trade. We believe in the international, the multilateral trade system should be based on norms with the Global Trade Organization as a center, the core. So those are the main thinking that we share. because we believe in an inclusive globalization. And we think that open markets and trade is a very powerful forces, to develop our countries and to increase our incomes and to create jobs, which is quite important. So this instrument that I said to you is an upgrade because we already had a free trade agreement with China since the 2010, will give more opportunities to the business, in different sectors. Our free trade agreement also incorporates the investment chapter. So it's not only trade on goods, it's trade on goods, services, and also on investment. But there are many other chapters that are quite also important, because are related with access to the market. One thing is to eliminate tariff, because you eliminate the tariff at the enter of the port. But the other one is to have the goods in the market, especially agriculture and fish sector. To those commodities, you have to negotiate sanitary protocols with the GAC, with the custom. We have a very close relationship, a very friendly relationship with the custom of China. They help us a lot, and we have a very frank and honest conversation. But we need to negotiate more sanitary agreements in order to have more fruits, more vegetables, more agriculture, commodities or goods in China market. So those aspects of market access, the issues also related with quarantines, issues related with intellectual property rights, issues related with geographical indications. There are many other ones, that are very important to enhance, the bilateral economic relationship between Peru and China.
Exactly. And yes, we have just now mentioned many times of the Chiang-Kai port. It is a very good example of the cooperation between China and Peru under the Belt and Road Initiative. And now, from Chiang-Kai to Shanghai has gone viral on the internet. So why this port is so important? How will this port benefit the local development and the connectivity?
The Chiang-Kai port is already, it's not going, is, in present, is the only deep water port in South America. There are only two deep water ports in America. One in Long Beach, in California, and the other one in Manzanillo, in Mexico. This is going to be the only one down in America, in Peru, in the center. By the way, Peru is in the center of South America. So we have a very geographical, important location. And in the center of the center, you have the port of Chiang-Kai. Wow. So it's going to be the only deep water. What does mean? That means that the port will be able to receive the biggest vessels. Right now, for instance, if you want to go to different ports in South America, and the vessels could only handle like 13, at most 14,000 containers. Yes. But with Chiang-Kai port, the vessel could have more than 18 or 20,000 containers. And that is a reduction of the cost of the logistical transportation, President Xi Jinping mentioned a figure that perhaps is right. I mean, no, it's fully right, that this is going to reduce at least 20%, no, the cost in transportation, the logistical, in the maritime traffic between Shanghai and Shanghai, only by being able to receive these biggest vessels. And also, since you are not going to depend on going to Manzanillo and then to China and going all basically directly to China, you are going to reduce the time of traveling by 10, 12 days. That is also, a very efficient that will, allow many exporters to reduce time, to reduce costs, to be more productive, to be more effective. That is the importance of the Shanghai port. But one thing that I have to say also is that Shanghai port, from my point of view and the point of view of many, is the beginning, is the starting point of a very transformative process, economic process in Peru, because we already have the port, yes. But with the port we need, and we want to develop an industrial, technological, and logistical parks or special economic zones, which require a lot of investment, and we will call investors from all over the world to go and to put plants, to produce there. So that is a transformative, when I am saying transformative, because we expect that parks or economic zones will help us to industrialize the country, to get more manufacturers. Because right now we export basically raw materials or agriculture things, and few manufacture. So we expect that with the Port of Shanghai we will develop this kind of process of industrialization of Peru. I also heard that Shanghai Port will create around 8,000 jobs,
yes.
Directly, not indirectly, directly, and will contribute to the revenues of Peru something like 4 billion, something like that. That is a lot of money,
yes.
In terms of revenues or incomes. So there is many advantages.
Maybe that is why some international media said that the Shanghai port maybe one day become the second Singapore.
Yeah, many things, many one are saying Singapore, but I prefer to use Shenzhen, because Shenzhen was also a very small town.
Yes.
It was a fishery town. It was 1 decade, so I don't know how long ago, was a fishery.
Yes.
A fish, city with 30,000 people, something like that. It was not developed like Shanghai. And now, the city, how is the city?
Yes.
It's one of the most important ones, very modern. So that's what I am thinking.
Okay.
Well, or other things in Singapore, of course, could be. But I am thinking in terms of China, So I prefer to see Shenzhen.
Actually, the steady development of China-Peru relations is an epitome of the relations between China and Latin America and the Caribbean countries. And this year actually marked the 10th anniversary of Chinese President Xi Jinping's proposal of building a China LAC community with shared future. And how would you assess the current relations between China and LAC countries, and what kind of role Peru would like to play in boosting the relations between China and LAC countries?
Latin America and the Caribbean is not unique. I mean, we could be unique in terms of languages, some historical things, no? But the Caribbean speak English. They're a small island, no? We have a largest country like Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, small ones like in Central America, with different priorities, different things. But in general terms, we have the same challenges. The main challenge is to develop digital economy, no? To improve our education, no? But you have to see also some differences, no, among the different regions. In the island, for instance, in the Caribbean, although that is a shared challenge for everybody, but for them perhaps is more dangerous is the climate change, no? Because if you go, I mean, if the water goes up, I mean, many islands, small island, will be in a very difficult situation.
Yes.
So climate change for them is one priority. For Peru, it's also one priority because our glaciers, no, are melting down. So climate change is one thing. Development, digitalization or digital economy, green development, health, education, poverty, all these things are common, no? So, and we have a plan of action with China. China even has set up, found, no, a cooperation, no, found, no, to help certain countries. I mean, the poorest one, no, to implement special projects, no, in different sectors, especially oriented to reduce poverty, hunger, these kind of things. I would say that Peru basically is a mobilizer, no, of the will, no, to improve the relationship and to upgrade the relation, or to have, I mean, always a new step in the relationship with China, no?
Yes.
It's a driver. And I say to you, in a certain way, our relationship with China could be seen as a model. No, as a model, because we are looking, I mean, all the aspects, and we try to be more close, no? And to have more cooperation, and to have more dialogue, and to have many things. I will say that all Latin American countries and Latin and Caribbean countries have two things that Peru shares. First of all, China is one of the second largest market for them. And that is quite important.
Yes.
Because if you see where our export goes, you will see that 36% is coming to China, and 15% to USA. That's happening the same thing, I mean, different figures, with many Latin America, many South America. In Central America, it's quite different. I mean, perhaps USA is the first market. Mexico, of course, USA is the first market. And the other one that never forget is that China is also a very important investor. Trade investment is quite important in the relationship with China, no, for all Latin America. That is a fact. Second, China right now one of the most important countries in the world in terms of development. Okay? It's not only, I mean, it's not a matter that right now it's the second, I mean, most powerful country in the world. It's a matter of having the experience, no? To see the experience of China, how they reach the level of development in 30 years or 35 years. So to get all this expertise, to get all these experiences, all these good practices, and to accommodate to our national needs and national conditions is quite important. So there are many angles, no? And those angles that I mentioned, and other ones, of course, help Latin American Caribbean to develop, I mean, to progress. So the Latin American Caribbean China relationship is doing well. We are expecting to have a new meeting, no, in China. Seems to me in April or March, here in China, and Euphoria. I don't know if that will be a summit, yes, no, because the organizers will be China, with, I suppose, the president of the Latin American Caribbean community, the pro tempore presidency. So, right now, that is what I am able to see, to tell you. I mean, China is a good example, it's a good partner, it's a good friend. Latin America and Caribbean are working with China to improve their living conditions.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ambassador. Really, thank you for your very kind introduction and your very insightful ideas to let us have a better understanding of Peru and also the bilateral relations between China and Peru. Thank you.